Thanks, Drew. And yes, we are part of the resistance. We will not be silenced. We will continue to speak the truth, and they just can't cope. I just want to clarify some things. We support young girls and boys to be themselves, to dress how they like, to play the sports they like, to express themselves however they like. There's no right or wrong way to be a girl or a boy. Some girls are more masculine, some boys are more feminine. True diversity within the sex binary. We also support the rights of people who are same-sex attracted, homosexuals, lesbians. But what we do not support is an ideology which promotes and reinforces sexist gender stereotypes and says, for instance, that a butch lesbian is actually a man or an effeminate gay man is actually a woman. How insane! Or a tomboy is actually a boy who must have her puberty blocked, her breasts removed, and take life-altering drugs to mimic the opposite sex. Or a boy who prefers pink and playing with dolls. Oh, he's actually a girl, and he must be stopped from developing secondary sex characteristics by harmful experimental drugs, tuck his penis away, and take hormones to grow breasts. That is child abuse. We support women's human rights to have spaces, services, and sports free of all males. Allowing men to access these spaces, so women's bathrooms, women's change rooms, women's rape crisis shelters, domestic violence refuges, women's prisons, is a violation of women's human rights. Those men over there have no problem violating women's rights, and we do not support men having rights that women fought for. It's already been a huge year in the fight to restore women's sex-based rights globally. As Leah mentioned, in January, the Trump administration signed the executive order titled Defending Women from Gender Ideology Extremism and Restoring Biological Truth to the federal government, overturning all the crap that the Biden-era policies brought in. Sex now shall refer to an individual's immutable biological classification as either male or female. The US issued its first passport with an X gender designation back in 2021 under Biden. Australia first introduced the X marker for passports all the way back in 2011. And other more recent legislation now allows men to falsify their birth certificate to state female. Obviously, there are huge safeguarding issues that were completely ignored with allowing men to falsify ID documents to say female. To quote the Department of Home Security, there are only two sexes, male and female. President Trump promised the American people a revolution of common sense that includes making sure that the policy of the US government agrees with simple biological reality. Management of our immigration system is a matter of national security, not a place to promote and coddle an ideology that permanently harms children and robs real women of their dignity, safety and well-being. Another order came in February, which was specifically regarding males unfairly competing in the women's sports category. And despite the rhetoric, we all know that this doesn't mean anyone is banned from playing sport. Everyone can play sport in the category matching their biological sex. This ensures a fair and level playing field. Categories maximise inclusion. Then more recently, at the start of April, there was the landmark win in the UK Supreme Court where the definition of woman was clarified. The UK's top court says the legal definition of woman refers to biological sex. So it does not include men who think they're women, even if they have a piece of paper that says the same. The decision confirms that single-sex services for women, such as refuges, hospital wards and sports, can exclude men pretending to be women, and it clears up any legal ambiguity. And of course, men like those over there in London turned out to protest the decision by urinating in public, like any woman would do. The Supreme Court win was such a huge achievement for Women Scotland, the group of women who brought the case against the Scottish government, and we applaud them. As Susan Smith, co-director of For Women Scot, said, it's common sense, basic common sense. And the fact that we've been down a rabbit hole where people have tried to deny science and reality, and hopefully this will now see us back to reality. We're so happy for our sisters on Turf Island, and we cannot wait to follow them back to reality and sanity in the hopefully not too distant future. Just quickly, here in Australia, we now look forward to August when Sal Grover will be again back in court defending women's sex-based rights here. Sal's life was thrown into turmoil for 3 years and counting thanks to a litigious, delusional man who goes by the name of Roxy Tickle, and he plays hockey against teenage girls and also thinks it's okay to use their dressing sheds. Sal's just one of many examples of women on the front line being punished for refusing to pretend that men are women, for refusing to participate in their delusion, for refusing to participate in their fetish. And I'll leave it with a quote from Sal's awesome legal team. As we move forward with our appeal, we emphasise that women standing up for sex-based rights, including the right to single-sex spaces, are acting in defence of fairness, honesty and legal clarity. This is not an act of exclusion or bigotry. It is a necessary assertion of women's rights in law and policy. Discussions around gender identity must not come at the expense of the safety, dignity and autonomy of women and lesbians, nor should they impose an ideological framework that compels the redefinition of sex-based protections. Keep speaking the truth. Don't give up on the truth.